Evening, everyone. It's one of those days. Everything is bunged up, including me. And there is nothing pleasant about it. Um, I'm going to be carrying on with what I was doing on Tuesday, basically. Just quietly working on the commission stuff of Sunny and Lacquer. Ooh. Hmm. Give me just a moment. I'm just going to... Oh, why is that not... Oh, I see. Let me just throw this up for a second. Just need to... Where is it? There. Hey, Amy. Just taking care of a thing I realised I forgot to do beforehand. It'll be only a moment. That's... Saved and back. There we go. Realised I'd accidentally left some colours not sampled that I needed for another thing. Yes, this is going to be a slow one. It may also be a short one. Who can tell? I'll put the music on as well. And close the needless tabs, which always pester me whenever I'm doing this stuff. Play, there we go. Right, bring up the mood boards. Um, oh yes, the henna tattoos on the shoulders. Okay, so we'll have the flowers in the hair. Slight platform wedge boots. Ah. What can we? What's next? Yes, the fingerless fishnet gloves, circular glasses, simple talk. There's a lot more detail to Sunny. Outside of the base outfit, anyway. We have... Okay, what do we have on the face? Elven features. So that'll probably include the ears, which means I do actually need to consider that. Yeah. I have seen. Bring that down to there. quite pointed like that. And over here we'll see. Okay, that's the vibe, but too small. Where is it? No. No, that's taking it's taking the little long roundabout route there. Needs a few things exacerbated more. And I see she has a pair of bangs on either side of the head, plus a braid. Which will then obscure, most of the ears, but that's how it goes. Cut that there. Then we do the hair. I'll probably do the flowers in the hair last. See, it's a fairly neat parting for that matter. That back to there. Ah, okay, that's what I can do. Ooh. Shouldn't suppress sneezes. Um, okay, that's there. And the braid. This looks from a certain angle. Oh god, that's a complex one. So I'm gonna save that because that looks quite cool to. It's just nice to look at, but mm. So this hair will be. Something doesn't look right about this. Maybe. There. Then this up here. No, no, that doesn't. That's not right. Well, fire and smoke, never let go of me. Right, that might work. Okay, that's the front bits done. So the short bits only come to there. Now, the braid's a bit longer. The braid comes down to the waist. But I kind of want it actually to be visible, so I'm thinking, because we'll get most of the tattoos in other places. Thinking I put it there. Yeah, the thing about braids is that they're remarkably easy hairstyles. I'm still gonna take like 3 tries on it, but you know. No, that's not right. There we go. Okay, Sunny's the main part of Sunny's still gonna need to do that for a bit. It is also my own issues with trying to draw hair that led me to initially giving fell uh, braids when I drew her. Okay. Right. That'll be a bit different. Then it's a little bit weird. here. Around there. No, that doesn't look right. Okay. Then we go to this. It's got a nice big. Mm, yeah, yeah. Okay, get rid of that now. That's entirely. That was entirely there to be something I got rid of. Braid needs to lose a bit more because it's going behind the hair. Slight change, I think. That still goes, but all this. Ah, that there. Okay, that's when it stops faffing around with its own resolution. That's better. It was leaning a bit too far out originally. I tried to give her relatively large eyes at least in their feel on the face too. Given that she has a rounder, more full face than Lacquer in that regard. Tried to give a more rounded face in general. Whereas obviously Lacquer has these very sharp cheekbones and do have a bit of pain. That all tracks, yes, the face shape and the pain. Not entirely all Lacquer's fault. Yeah, I'll definitely leave the flowers to last. Flowers suck to draw. Nothing to do with the piece, just flowers are a struggle, and even if one of them is entirely my fault. I should not have. Why did I choose roses for a relevant thing? Why why did I choose roses as a central bit of symbolism? I've just created trouble for myself. Right, circular glasses. So those are circular glasses. I'm guessing by simple, probably no frames. Just the glass and or no brace, just the glass and the bits that hook behind the ears. Talk. Braces is on that arm. Belt. Okay, now I should get the hands and the feet done before working on those details. Oh, and properly redo the tails, like I did for Lacquer. Though most of them are. If I'm looking at my own image correctly, yeah, most of them just need the extra detail. Okay, let's get those tail tweaks done. Check. Hmm. Yeah. Those always work well. So I'll put a few of these in. Oh yeah. is this line taking much time to get right? It's still not. Apparently going down is a weakness of mine. I don't know, don't know if I should be surprised by that. Just bring Lacquer up because she's got the useful tail. Disparate tails. What I do find amusing about these two is that they both end up with the same number of limbs. Because obviously they've still just both only got 2 legs and a head. But then one has 4 arms and 5 tails, and the other has 7 tails and 2 arms. Entirely unintentional. I just find it an amusing quirk of how things turned out. I just think it's funny, really, that it turned out that they actually have the same amount of them. God, how's Aquaman getting a sequel? It sucked. Guess people just really like Jason Momoa. Unfortunately for him, unlike David Tennant, he does not automatically improve whatever he's in. David Tennant is an international treasure, 100 fucking %. I'm one of the people who first saw him in Doctor Who, and the wildest thing to hear after that is to learn that he's Scottish, because like that man knows how to do an accent, and it is brilliant. No idea he was Scottish. Yeah, there's some brilliant Doctor Who outtakes of him of like when the take goes wrong or he forgets he flubs his line, him just kind of going off onto a Scottish rant just to like do the thing of airing the essentially airing out the mistake. It's like me if I'm trying to like get a line, it's like this isn't working, and I'll just do this. It's the equivalent. It's the it's the acting equivalent of just like letting your words run so that you can get through the buggery. As strange as that sounds. But yeah, he is most definitely Scottish, and he just really knows how to do accent. He just really knows how to shift his accent. It's great. Like, dude just knows how to fill a role and make it good, as evidenced by him being many people's favorite Doctor, including mine. I have no particular issue with Matt Smith, who came after, or it was Tom Eccleston who came before. I wasn't much of a fan of Capaldi, though that's at the point where I started falling off the series. And Capaldi coming off right after the kind of manic god that was uh, Matt Smith really, I think, messed up how I felt about him. Because it threw this very serious, very um like slow and down to earth kind of Doctor uh right right after a very bombastic, very um hyperactive Doctor. And it was just such a tonal whiplash that I think it spoiled how I perceived him. Which is unfortunate because as far as from what I hear, Capaldi had some of the best speeches, and I just the algorithm has occasionally just thrown up compilations of like brilliant Doctor speeches, and yeah, I can believe it. He had some great moments, but he had to fight with a lot. Heard great things about those seasons. Well, I mean I basically just named most of the modern run. I'll be honest with you. I think of all of them, Tom Eccleston was the shortest one. He was the first Doctor when they rebooted it for the modern audience. But I had no issue with his. He just hell, he's fairly important to me as the one who brought it back. 9th and 13th. No, Eccleston was the 9th. Eccleston was the um yeah, Eccleston was the 9th Doctor. He was the first one to be. He was the first one to play the Doctor when the series got rebooted for the modern audience. Then it was Tennant, then it was Smith, then it was Capaldi, then it was Jodie Whittaker. It was the 13th, And like I feel bad for Jodie Whittaker. I only saw a couple of things of hers. We kind of tuned in for a couple of episodes because we were interested to just see what they were doing with the series. And I think like they made her Doctor so so like distractible. She always seemed to have like the script always seemed to have her like easy like jumping between things, not really knowing what she was doing in any particular moment. And the episodes I saw were very kind of Earth centric, and they didn't really endear me to her seasons because they kept dealing with like very mundane situations by comparison. Like even if the CGI is often a bit wonky because it's BBC budget, I I still always preferred the Doctor Who stuff that went other places. I'm not a fan of Whittaker's acting in general. I don't know enough about her stuff outside of it to be sure because like I basically only saw her in Doctor Who, and that was her definitely being hamstrung by bad writing. Uh, Moffat has a bit of a reputation as being kind of a streaky writer. He kind of being very vague, very kind of wishy-washy in terms of quality. So so yeah, I don't know how much to so I attribute most of my issues with this with her time to the guy writing the script because it was also starting to come through in Capaldi's stuff and some of Smith's stuff. Yeah, I always just like it when they go to other places. I prefer it when they travel places that aren't Earth, but a lot of her stuff seemed to be very Earth centric or around humans. Yeah, yeah. Okay, let's get rid of this for a moment. On that note, I've got to go. All right then, see you around, Amy. Enjoy your weekly mandated period of not talking to the internet. Hope IRL things go well for you. God, so bunged up today. God, despite the fact that I could talk a lot about it, I am remarkably not much of a Doctor Who fan. It was an important part of like of my teenage years and my young adulthood, and so the stuff I did watch is important to me. It's still aggressively soft sci-fi and such, but this is looking good. Or anymore. Everything right. It's an odd sound. No, I think other people are moving stuff about in the house. Oh, they're chopping firewood. You can hear the telltale sounds of an axe. Which I imagine is more or less worrying the more rural you are. God. Oh, my head. That doesn't look right. It's a bit better. And Christmas sucks. We are not celebrating it this year. We're not a we just don't have any connections to it. We're not a Christian family. Obviously, I'm clearly pagan. I'm a fairy. But yeah, we're not a Christian family, so we don't have that kind. We don't have the uh, spiritual connection to their version of it. Mm. And there's no like young children. Um, so we don't have anyone here who's particularly interested in receiving a big pile of gifts. Hell, I have things I want, but they're all digital. They don't go around a tree. I mean, if we've got too much clutter um, to actually properly fit a tree. It's not my clutter. I would chuck it out. Um, and we don't really have much family that visits. We might have one extra family member over the Christmas period, and that'll be it. It's so I've so yeah, we're just I think we've just decided to not. So, but I'm probably still going to cook something for a lot of us who are there, just because I do kind of like cooking. Um, I'm just going to quickly Google some good Christmas recipes. No more food, don't want that. Roast chestnuts, turkey crown, mini maple and mustard pigs in blankets. I mean, I can make pigs in blankets anytime. That's just bacon and sausages. I have made pigs in blankets before. It's very tasty. It's so nice. I don't know why wrapping sausages in bacon makes them both so much better, but it does. Coconut fried rice. I mean, again, I know how to do that. That's just fried rice. Little carrots. Okay, God, I don't. Okay, none of these recipes sound tasty. they sound like things. They literally sound like stuff people have made up just to have something at Christmas. It doesn't seem to be any particular thought behind the beyond that. Okay, let's start on these hands. Uh, right. First, I need to quickly shrink her wrist. That still doesn't seem too. That still seems too big. Huh? No. It's actually perfect somehow. Mm. Right. Okay. Let's whip up my phone, take some reference images because references are really good, and anyone who thinks an artist shouldn't use references is an elitist snob. Okay, so it's hand like that. Okay, that's that one. Use my drink for a guess on that one. Around there, so we see the fingers, but that's about it. Maybe see the edge of the thumb. That one is wrapped forward around the shoulder. Then, oh god, what the hell is that wrist doing? Where's my stylus? Oh no. It's like that. So, oh, yes, right. Okay, that's going to be an open palm. Okay, that last reference image is kind of naff. Okay, sunny. Right. That there. That goes in front of there, so that is Lacquer's arm that goes absent. Gonna leave those there. Oh, no, wrong one. I should probably keep those there. It always messes with me, the shape of the thumb. Okay. Need new image already. Did that work? Yes, it did. Delete that one. Now we need... That's good. Not quite. Move it out a little. That there, that there. No. Then we've got this here. Let's do that. That's the... Okay, so that's about the width I should be going for. This here. I exist once more. Welcome my sympathies for that existence. With these saw. Could just be from getting used to the new thing. No, that doesn't look right. And like my previous job, it's not super intensive. Who knows then? I'm going to take that because that's going... I need two fingers like that. This will be like that, which means all of this will get cut. Stool is just whack. Possibly bad seating does mess it up. Okay, I need to. What is it? View. Why is it not showing up this time? Unfortunately, legally, that stool is only there for one coworker who doesn't really use it, so not like I can complain. God, that's. That's still such a weird American thing. Still at this stage, corporate. It's still a weird American thing, even whether it's management or whether it's corporate, whichever tier it's coming from. It's still bizarre that the whole you're not meant to be sitting down at work. Like, like hell, even the cashiers over here, every single one of them sits because they know what it's like. Because legally America banned slavery, so they treat the minimum wage as the new slave bar. Surprised more places haven't managed to do that as either though. Like, because obviously corporations do want to get away with as much as they can get away with. So I am surprised that like there aren't more places that have managed to like get a situation like that. With no thrill you living satisfied from you place you from this darkness left inside. Mm. Far away. It's because America is massive compared to other countries, so the extra shitty people who make the rules aren't within striking distance. Maybe. It doesn't entirely change that it doesn't change that that like that it's always that it's most often the people who want to who are willing to exploit others who will make it to the top, just because that's how power works. So I still expect to see it in more places. I am glad we don't have that over here, though. Yeah, but like I said, the other countries are small enough that it takes them most of the day to finally get to a corporate building. I suppose that I can see stopping stuff like uh, that I can see stopping stuff like yeah, yeah, the riots. But at the same time, there is a lot of American industry over here, a lot of American business, and it is still and it is still mostly the EU that has enforced those kind of regulations. Mm. Plus, Americans are weirdly anti-union. That is because that's because there's been a great deal of um, propaganda about unions over there. Like yeah, well no, it's the entire like generation before millennials, and some of the millennial generation, um, who were subject to a lot of the propaganda against unionizing. Yeah. Um, come on, give me the swipe. Okay, that one can go. That image right. Okay, I'm going to quickly grab a much more oppressive color. Mm, yeah, which puts there, 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 there. Worst bit is you can kind of see it in some TV still, because sometimes the bad guys are union moving in to take jobs, even though that's the opposite of what they do. Yes, yeah, it's. Uh, I don't think I've seen any modern stuff on that. Um, my mom was under the impression that unions charge ridiculous fees. Well, it's the same. It's the same. It's the same argument they use against like things like public health care, right? It's the idea that like saying that everyone's going to constantly be paying this money makes it sound like like they make it out like it's going to be so much more from everyone, but more because more because literally the entire country is paying an amount, it guarantees coverage, and because it goes from for profit to for service, it's not all about optimizing things anymore. More people in the union, the less they have to spend. Yes, that's the thing. That's the whole thing. When an entire country or in like the larger group of people is putting money towards the same thing that is only sometimes used, um, it lowers the costs for everyone. The the argument for these is always the same, really. Ultimately, like my answer is always like for the people who think it should stay privatized. My answer is always: do you use roads? Do you use drains? Because those are publicly funded, and you already put money towards them. That's what your taxes are for. That's how it's meant to be spent. Granted, granted, America is a complex situation. America's really shitty about taking care of roads. Road care is kind of just rough, even over here. But that's because of how budget management is handled. Like budgets, prospective government budgets for councils and districts is done by how much they've already had to spend. So if a place is constantly spending money on a thing, they'll generally get a higher budget for it because it acts like they need um because it acts like they that because it seems like they need the money, whereas oftentimes they're actually just finding methods to spend. But that's a thing. Um, but whereas if a place isn't putting the budget away there, it doesn't look like they need it, and so the next year's budget is less. Realistically, we don't need an active standing army that has billions in budget. Yeah, I'm not even sure if I want to tackle the that question, to be honest. Like, like the discussion of American military spending is like beyond messy. The way things probably won't get better until protesters find a way to fuck over the rich people's days. Probably not. Like there's steps here and there, but yeah. So there. Yeah, it's it's an issue. And as non-committal as that sounds, um, it's not as though I am the one with the answers there. It's fucked up. News Kamen Rider's new series is giving people outside of suit actually cool shit to do. It's been a while since we had a season that leans on magic over science. I'm gonna be honest. None of Kamen Rider seems like science to me. Like, all of it is sci-fi with fancy elements. Yeah, I don't know. That feels like that feels like calling it sci-fi in the same way that Overwatch doesn't want to admit it has magic. It's um No, no. Wrong way. It's more than willing to admit when this mystical but really does it stay in just fancy. Second, that starts. Right, okay. That's the base. Then the first knuckle gets to there. Mm. Much to the detriment of ghosts, especially since parents thought it'd be too scary for a character to actually fight like a ghost. Danny Phantom, am I a joke to you? Gertrude has a weird alchemy that's all about giving life to the inanimate recently. So I've seen like bits and pieces of stuff like Kamen Rider, and I mean very much bits and pieces, like the occasional clip that would make it to Imager. Um, it's one of those things where if someone talks about it, they can make it seem interesting, but every single time I see any footage of it, it just looks so low budget and so kind of Saturday morning cartoon that I watched growing up. Like too cheap, too no, just I don't know how to describe it, just so like there's God, how do I describe it? Like so old in terms of so old in terms of the quality that it just kind of really turns me off from it looking interesting at all. Varies. The show era was definitely classic Saturday morning cartoon. But Hersey onwards has more in common with the shonen TV dramas. I can get that from a conceptual level, but like the actual production quality doesn't seem like it's ever gone anywhere from that. I need to retake that image too. Mm. Yeah, it is an odd series, but where era they are certainly pushing, even if Japan isn't great with CGI. It's quite funny that the best CGI, like some of the more interesting CGI is when they just go, like, I wouldn't even say that, because Japan can do some good CGI. It's just they can't do it as part of us. It's just like there are certain live actions that they never manage to make it work in. Like if it's pure CGI, something like Knights of Sidonia, it looks really good. There is a distinct style that is favored, but it still looks good. Let me just uh, okay, that'll do. new Sentai season is extremely janky for some reason, even though conceptually it has to use CGI because it's not even on Earth. I mean, there's a lot you can do with Earth terrain. I mean, it's regular. It's pretty regular. Um they use Earth terrain to emulate alien worlds. You miss incidentally you missed the Doctor Who talk, which definitely covers that. But I mean, it is very much a season that feels like it should have been a full fantasy anime. Mm. It's got some crazy stuff going on that I'm kind of here for. It's about five kings of five kingdoms fighting a bug-based army while one kingdom is ruled by a corrupt king. Only sees his subjects as tools and doesn't do anything to save them. I mean, how is he surviving then? That's that seems like a very short rule. God, Mechabugs, this is my only explanation, plus he's got decent propaganda. Oh, he's British. There. The main character is really pushing to be seen as an evil king, since he's going against that king's justice. That's bizarre. Okay, that's the hand templates done. Kind of gets on the conceptual level, but it's stupid. Oh, that's real kind of. I love the guy, but he's dumb as fuck. It's every single person about every single person. You've just channeled every single person who's ever owned a cat. Like I love him, but he's dumb as a bag of rocks. Okay, so we have. You on what the hell? Oh, Sunny. Um, God damn it. Fuck it. It's easy enough to just do this. It's also been wild on how rarely the monster of the week has actually mattered compared to the ongoing plot. There were two whose villain who got introduced doesn't show up the entire episode and appears for 10 seconds before getting obliterated. Actually laugh because both are so dumb and son. Yeah, it does sound like oh sorry. It does sound like they're like, hey, I'm relevant. That's like one of the first PCs that I ever played alongside. Okay, there goes. Feels like the actual Sentai stuff is more incidental compared to the past seasons. I don't actually know what Sentai is. You may have to just fill me in on that one. As in, I assume it's a genre thing. I'm just unaware of the word. Okay. Oops. Okay. Yeah, honestly, a lot of Toku, particularly in Kamen Rider and Sentai, is down to taste per series. This might be a little more weird than I can follow. I'm afraid I'm already lost in the terminology. Toku just means tokusatsu, basically live action with the suits. Think classical Z. Okay, okay. I am, I am definitely I'm definitely I think the way to put this. I am definitely not very up on the terminology. That said, I kind of never am. Like, do this. View. Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, pretty much anything, any kind of. Basically, every hobby I have, I am very ignorant of the of a lot of the terminology of it. Just it's just kind of my curse. This is one of those series that bits that since each iteration is different, you'll probably find something you like if anything looks interesting, especially if you know the writer. Well, um, I kind of don't. So is that line there? No, that's good. That's there. I'm fine to hear people talk about it. It's just not a thing that's ever taken my particular fancy. They got the art for Gurren Lagann in the season. I only know that for its animation. I also know it's weird. I also know that Gurren Lagann was was wonky as shit. to put it one way. So Joyride, yeah, that sounds about right. It does seem it did like sound like something was kind of all everywhere rather than, uh particularly rather than say incredible writing, just fun writing. Which is, that's fair. No issue with. There's nothing wrong with. There's nothing wrong with just a bit of fun. Then there's one season written by the Madoka Magica and Fate Zero Guy. Okay, fair enough. That one, I could see. I could certainly see an interest in that one. more. That. Let's get the purple back in because I need to fill in stuff for Sunny. Mm. It's about the range of tones to expect, but rarely ever full grimdark. So yeah, I can kind of get what you're saying about it being uh very diverse from that. Given that, yeah, I've seen haven't sorry, no, I haven't seen Fate Zero, but I've heard of Madoka Magica, and I'm aware of bits and pieces of yeah, I've heard of bits and pieces of oh dear. I need to shift that. Mm. Mm. If you don't care for the overall quality, I'd probably recommend stuff after 2010 since Neo Heisei Onward has a bit higher budget. Mm, I I can take the recommendations, but I'll be honest with you, it's still probably not something I'll ever um probably still not something I'll ever really get into. Um it's a bit it's essentially it's a thing that I have been around enough, um or at least it's been kind of in my periphery as something that a lot of people have talked about, and it's come up enough that I am like generally aware of its presence, but have not been endeared that much to. And I'm kind of good letting it just kind of letting it be its own thing and letting it be there for the people who evidently love it, but not feeling much of a personal pull. I see. That's wait, what? Is that? No? What the? Oh, I botched that up. Same reason I've never got into Sentai, though I've tried. Sentai's a bit too commercially at times. Yeah, the product placement in those kind of things is it's definitely a thing. Oh bollocks. Okay. There. At least Sentai's worse than Kamen Rider about it, because at least Kamen Rider's toys also happen to just be action figures alongside the built toy weapons, and one of those gets way less focus. I can't like remember the that's the honestly that's the thing the thing that consistently gets me about these series is how toy-like all of the things feel. Like I'm going to name a cartoon series here, but Ben 10. I loved Ben 10 as a kid. I even got the toy Omnitrix from the original seasons. But obviously with that, I know it's all animation, but it had the benefit of thus always feeling like it was still a thing that kind of fit into the setting. It like I had a toy, but the one in the show felt like an alien device, and it's stuff like that, and it's a good another a more I guess prominent example from a very expensive a very a group with a very big budget is Star Wars. The Star Wars troop, like the clone trooper outfits, the stormtrooper outfits, always like in the show in the movies, they look like armor. It feels like fancy armor, whereas like the real world copies of that look too plasticky. Um, and even in the original trilogy, enough was done to make it feel like it fit with the design. But a lot of the stuff I've seen from things like Kamen Rider, the objects, the special items they have are too chunky, kind of too shiny. They look like toys, and that kind of kills my immersion for it. That kills my already limited investment in it, because like it's it just turns into people playing with toys, and I can do that. I don't want to watch it. It's the same thing actually that it's the same thing that put me off Power Rangers, because it had the same kind of problem. It all felt too plastic. And if a series does that, it loses my interest. Weirdly, I think Geese is probably the only season where the weapons don't feel exclusively like toys, because a lot of them were designed rather recently. It's I don't know, can't comment really, can I? Um, I can I can get why they do it, because it's product placement. If they make a weapon in season that looks a certain way, and they can sell you a product which looks exactly the same, for kids who don't really care about it the same in the same stuff that I do, um, they're gonna love that. But again, I'm pretty sure it's not. I'm pretty sure it's. I'm not. Rather than saying it's not for me, that's not. It's not aimed at my demographic. Uh, and because I'm not someone who grew up with it as something that that was important to me, I don't have any of the series investment or the nostalgia or the connection to it as something that mattered to me when I was like as part of my maturation. Always surprising when it gets dark, though, especially when something actually gets shot by. I just imagine the shock that comes from that. It's like, wait a second, that one's got a gun. Hang on a second, we have real guns. No, that's just an amusing thought to me. Like, wait a second, we can do that? Oh, I've messed that up. Yeah, that's better. Down to there. And one character from actually has a sword that only looks like a toy because they made a blade a little thicker than a real sword. But from a distance, it's just a katana. Every step in the right direction. Right. Also admit, a lot of my drawings, the main character is really just a shonen protagonist. Yeah, yeah. I don't know what to move this down. The main character of Build and the main character of Geats have the egos that are usually reserved for a rival character, but then they also manage to back it up, unlike shonen rival characters. So, because they're meant to. Like, shonen ones are meant to be able to back it up. Okay, go. Just loses all that. Along with all of this. That. All of that. That's entirely unnecessary. That. Mm. What's that there for? Do I just. Oh, God. Unlock phone. Okay, that's fine. Where's the final one that I really should have done first, but oh well. Sometimes the premises the show. I mean, by all means, I say, by all means, tell me about them. If this is, I'm fine with this being the only way I experience them. Ooh, give me that tiny bit of tail. Oh, That's good. Okay. Right. Oh well. Ooh. My favourite season is about these five ancient beings waking up after centuries of imprisonment and wreaking havoc to fuel their own greed, which is later expanded on outside the power of money to things they simply don't have because they're all missing something. Oh, oh, oh. I'm still not sure how that, um, like, still not knowing what it is, kinda doesn't really matter how I pronounce it, it's gonna be wrong. O's. Ooh, what? Oh, okay. Let's get this other hand. Really need that. Don't really need that anymore either. Well, damn. And I'm going to ask when you mentioned when you mentioned the whole ancient beings waking up, my mind immediately went Pillar Men. Nope. So, just ay. God, the crossover potential. Kamen Rider plus JoJo. Made up of coins though. Kind of fits on the greed, I guess. So you're missing something driven by greed. It's the classic it's the classic greed thing of like wanting but not really knowing what you want. One of the protagonists is one of them, and his whole thing he's missing compassion, which throughout the series is developed again as he's by far the least violent but also the most outwardly abrasive. Passive aggressive dickhead. Um, the show does explore greed in its different forms, from the benign desire for money to the writer's own greed being the fact he wants to save literally everyone, while selflessly wants to be the one to do it himself. Okay, so yeah, that kind of the savior complex. So Chuck get exploded in Africa. The show is not afraid to kill children. Oh God. Oh no. How dare it? But sometimes the writer for a season really gets into it and writes a lot of extra stuff in books, O's being one of the seasons. I have mixed opinions on that. I think it's good conceptually, but I'm not inclined to keep up with it. I'll bounce around to build now. My second favourite. Its premise is that a decade ago, Japan had a mission to Mars where they discovered ruins and brought back a box they call the Pandora's box. Oh, that's only going to go well. Which activated and led to alien walls forming and splitting the country in three and unleashing a gas that a faction uses to turn people into monsters for experimentation to surpass their own humanity and make weapons. what, what do you say to that? What do you say to that? I mean, do you say to that other than could have called that one a mile away? Oh, that's wrong. Oh God, that's very weird. Needs to be a little bit wider. Oh God, no, that's bad. Okay, you know what? I'm going to get rid of this one. Plus, it develops into its own political drama with the 2 out of 3 of the new rulers wants to take over other parts of the country for resources at any cost, which is noted to be out of character for them by the last one. And it's revealed that on activation, the box adjusted people near its aggression levels and dropped an alien off on one guy that is possessing him for the majority of the season. Honestly, my favorite villain because he is such a bastard, but he's clearly having the time of his life. Magnificent bastards are a bop. That is true. Right, that's that one. The second one goes. Hmm. God, that's not right. Sorry, getting focused. I love his main suits because his final suit has a black hole motif, and by that point he's gone from wanting to waste Earth to wanting to rule it. Because that decade he spent possessing someone, he's not getting attached to the planet. I mean, that's an improvement, I guess. At least he's. I don't know. That's definitely a step in the right direction. No, well, that should stay there. Oh dear, that's gotten too bulbous. Yeah. Hmm. Bouncing over to the newest season to finish, Geet starts with the world coming to an end before it gets rebuilt with a new one. What's happening is the Kamen Riders are chosen to participate in a sort of survival game where the winner gets to wish to change one thing about the world as repayment for stopping a threat called the Yamato. Of course, as the series goes on, it's revealed it's a game show being watched by those in the future, and the main character is revealed to have been reincarnated for centuries on a journey to find his original mother, who disappeared in this game where she was supposed to be the host for. That is a turn and a half at the end there. Like, I don't know, that started fine, but revealing it to be a game show, I'm gonna be honest, that lost my interest very quickly. That would be a record. Start. So, I get it, trust me, I only finished it because the game should get less focus over time and eventually gets made into the proper antagonist when it's revealed the mother is the wish granting goddess being held against the world, plus a couple of viewers from the future decide to spice things up and participate in their own way, much to some rises distress. God, it just just making the future people out to be uh, just horrible by the sound of it. There makes that a little bit. No, no. Shifts. Hmm. That's wrong. Right. That's almost correct. Where's that? Okay. Only two are genuinely horrible because the game show is usually less deadly, but the higher up executive is a sadist. Is a sadia. a stadia. Future tech game shows run by a defunct gaming console. When he becomes the new game master, that's when the show is at its most sadistic, leading to the mother getting destroyed, and one rider to hit the despair event horizon when his sister is killed in an accident by a secondary rider. Yeah, you are right that it doesn't seem to be afraid to kill kids. Sheesh. Okay, push that down. Oh, the sister wasn't a kid in this season. Oh, slip of the tongue, I guess. But the daughter the rider ended up replacing most certainly was. Shit. Yeah, you're fine. Eh, the bot doesn't seem too worried. The bot flags stuff automatically. Jeez, the fucking all caps there. Uh, yeah, if you're worried about getting flagged by something, it's probably better to not send it. Perfectly honest with you. No, the bot only triggers when the message is all caps. Not always. It's not actually how it works. It triggers by an amount of caps. It's either or it's the things like Nightbot have a set amount that causes them to go off. And I think I disabled the caps one. Either that or I set a high enough limit on it. Oh god, that one's weird. Okay. Okay, that's the hands done. Almost. God, knowing that there's a load of the thumb just in the meat of the hand is weird. Well, let's bounce back a season that doesn't have a majority weird twist. Kamen Rider 01, a series where the main character is a failed comedian doing his best. Where he finds that he's the heir to a major tech company that makes androids. In the midst of this, there's a new terrorist organization claiming to be working to free the androids from humanity. I mean, that could be good, that could be bad, depending on how the androids get framed. But usually it's not well. Usually the robots don't get the better luck in this. Let's remove that. Oh, what the hell? What did I just delete? They must have deleted Lacquer's template there for a second. Let's see. Sorry, just comes the hand. Beyond the stars and your mercy for someone who needs it more. No. Damn it. Okay. It's revealed over time that the group, while having gained sentience, were also under the control of a malicious AI, but without the AI, they actually just want to help their fellow android. Plus, they've all seen the worst of humanity and have plenty of reason to hate them, especially when the human factions make new weapons to specifically combat them. Yeah, that kind of thing also is another kind of easily complicated issue because, I mean, um, hang on, oh dear, wrong layer. God, how much did I put? That entire section of fuck me running. Of course I did. And that. Main character, meanwhile, wants there to be peace since he was primarily raised by an android. They replaced his dead father, and he sees the good that sentient machines can bring. Okay, so a reasonable one. And that immediately gets turned around. Eventually, towards the end, he becomes a host for the AI because of his belt, and that's bad news till they can get the hardware holding the software away. Of course, that being the thing that kind of, yeah. Oh, no, I'm not making that mistake a millionth time. But a running theme with Kamen Riders, the main character will rarely ever lose their hope for a better future. I guess that kind of fits the general tone of thing, or the general kind of show message. Change one thing, I wouldn't make them a comedian at all, because aside from one thing, he is fairly fun as a main character. So what, you think that bit might have been a bit redundant? The bit was more just a bit much. Terrible Pundit has a catchphrase outside of the suit, and there's Solem, which is sometimes funny and cute when his android secretary develops sentience over time. Oh no, oh god, incoming romance. I see it. Honestly, I'm more ready to siblings. I am just guessing at these things. It's just like it just seemed like how that sort of thing goes. Mm. But you having watched it will probably be right. Over someone who is just kind of guessing at plot points as she goes. Okay. Okay, finally. Because she mimics him slowly over the series, and it's kind of cute because she's prim and proper, but she mimics his catchphrase and pose as she slowly understands him and gains the understanding. Okay, yeah, that I can see the adorableness, the sweetness there. Your pick, your voice, sing with me. Down into deep, who knows what we'll find beneath diamonds, rubies, gold, and all hidden in the mountain's core. The ground from a teeth of stone, raised in the dark, the safety of a mountain home, made of iron, steel in our bones. Dig makes us free. Come on, brother, sing with me. And Emmy's gonna be happy with this. God, that arm just went. I went overboard on that floof. It's like it's being eaten by a fuzz mimic. Okay, so Sunny smaller heels. And I'm also going to no. Um, Back up to the usual size, please. No. Okay, that just doesn't work, I see. Okay. Pivot that down. It's more like that. Yeah, that's better. Newest ongoing season so far, fairly simple with about 101 artificial beings, made with alchemy being unsealed into the world where it's introduced this secret magic world, not only catch them, so they don't come into human maliciousness, which turns them into a fused monster, but befriend them while also worrying about these three sisters called the Abyssalists. Okay, that name, the Abyssalists. That's very on brand to the style. Who want them? Do you want them to create a calamity? God, that that makes me think um of the sisterhood um in the Pacific Rim into the Black or the Black series, which I thought was fun until right at the end, at which point they apparently rewrote pretty much everyone's characterization and fucked around with so much of the ending. It is certainly the namiest name to name, one of the names of all time, one might say. Yes, yes. Let's just agree on that one. It is certainly a name. Um, now, no, that's the issue. The show is, of course, it's fairly light-hearted until the sisters make the move in which the main character gets his arm broken before he's forced to transform into Kamen Rider Dread, which uses cloned versions of the artificial being which is destroyed on use. If the show was higher rated, we most certainly would have seen Visible Broken Arm, but it's confirmed after the whole ordeal, his arm is in a cast and sling. So even if it's not, that's not necessarily a confirmation, but that is of course enough of one to be like, yeah, this didn't go well. Um, let's use you. Here, and it should do that. Mm. Also, there was a main character, not the main character. This was one of his friends who got his arm broken. Also, their teacher had his hand stabbed by a shadow needle to try and keep him pinned. He decided his hand would be fine with the hole in his. It's like, it'll be okay, Nev. Not a big deal. Shit, I need to start clearing all this out. Ahoy, Lucin. Ahoy, Lucin, my boy. Still Lucin. Don't forget the N. Yeah, hey, Kronk. You found it's a giant green flag for dudes. Okay. I'm wondering what the context is for that. Just trying to find an image to use. Oh, Lucin Nexus. Yes, I am. I am Nexus Mods. Uh, yeah. Yeah. Welcome in, Kronk. Take a look at these lovely ladies I'm working on. They are not single, but they are very much ready to flamingle. Oh, I gave my homie fan out of me and them, and they asked if I wanted to go on a date to the court. Oh, brilliant. Amazing. Must have been good fan art then. I sent it to you, but I don't know your Discord. Hang on a second. I can help with that. I do actually just have. It's pretty unused, but. Oh, actually not. I'll just go and grab the actual. Go to that. God, why does my computer keep logging me out of everything? Stop. That's a link to the Discord server. Also, Lucy Ninja, can I call you Lucy and replace the N with whatever word starts with N? So first of all, one of my streamer friends is known as is in fact is a Lucy, so it does kind of get things mixed. But also, I like the full name is kind of important to me. I don't mind you sticking words that start with N on the end, but as long as it's nothing untoward. But do try and get the full first name in if you can. So Lucian, so listen and stuff he was out. Oh, I'll allow it. God, I am wondering if that'll ever happen. I am definitely not well known enough to be getting lewd out, but oh, thank you, Nightbot. I've already sent them the link. Thank you. Way to indulge in private. I mean, there technically is one kind of semi-NSFW image already made by me, which can actually be found on my Tumblr. Just to plug that as well. Lesson number one, I am. Okay, different style. I may futz around and make Lacquer's boots a little more interesting later. Yeah, okay, she actually. Okay, so, Sunny's tails are properly done. She has a proper face, ears, and hair and such. Importantly, they all have hands. Big deal. Also, Sunny has abs, but you know, that's less vital. God, look. Built sturdy, absolutely. She's got like strength 16 or something. Um, like Sunny is really it is nowhere near her. Like it is a proper dump stat for her. It's her least used stat. But Sunny is built as hell. Sunny is pretty damn built. Let me find her. I actually know where her stats are. Sunbeam. Oh, yeah, sorry, no. She has a um as of the last time she appeared in the campaign along with me, um Sunny has strength of 18. It's just that it's vastly outweighed by her intelligence of 39. Don't know how I'm big enough for NSFW. Two homies got me out. I mean, I don't know if that's endearing or not. To be strictly speaking, anyone can receive NSFW art. Anyone is big enough to receive art. It's just that like if you're a larger presence, you'll obviously receive more because you'll have more people watching who know about you to draw in the first place. Like right now, I am the only one who produces art of me right now. So that said, that's probably a good thing. I wouldn't get too attached to this exact look, basically. Shame certain streamers ruin new drawings. Get started on yours right away. Uh, uh, like I said, I would wait. If you take a look at if you take a look at the socials, namely like Twitter and Mastodon and such, the most recent schedule I uploaded has a most recent schedule. Well, one of the most recent schedules I uploaded has a date for this coming January. So I'd probably wait until then before doing anything like that. I've been giving myself sleep deprivation to be ready for that date. The rule got rolled back. Yep. Yeah, that's very stupid. I saw it earlier. Yep. Fictions of real or fictional nudity won't be allowed on Twitch. Like, can't even be mad about it because people did abuse the freedom. How was it? Yes. First, we want to make it clear that some streamers, in response to this update, created content that was in violation. We removed that content to issue channel reinforcements. However, there was also a great deal of new content that was allowed under the policy. Much of the content created has been met with community concern. God, it's a fuck about. I'm glad I didn't have any plans for a nude stream option for a nude for a new model. Just that was never happening. I have better things to do with my time. But I am sitting. But I am still. That will have to be a different site. I mean, God, putting specific like nude stuff for a model is so much extra effort for so little like stuff. But yeah, there are other streaming sites for that kind of thing. If one decides. Yeah, yeah, it is what it is. It doesn't really change anything I was planning, at least. Okay, to be honest, I think with the progress I've made, I am going to call it for tonight and set up a raid to probably my most watched streamer. Because, Magical Girl, who often is often is the person who has kind of helped keep me motivated on the art side of things, and who is doing really well, and is having a proper debut in 2 days. So yeah, take a look at that on the 17th. Go do that. Oh no, where the fuck was I typing? Don't know which window I was in there. There is the raid message, and okay, I'm going to be looking forward to showing this one. But all right, that'll be it for today. Tomorrow will be Outer Wilds. I'm hoping to finish it tomorrow. I've been doing a lot there. I don't know what I'll start on after that. Maybe Blasphemous. Christmas Blasphemy. That's kind of a vibe actually. But all right. Thanks to everyone who came, stopped by, had to go, etc., etc. Till spring rises once more on another wonderful day.